And we're back. Welcome back to Retirement Decoded, the podcast. And here I am with Associate Advisor Max Wren. Say hello, Max Wren.
Hello, Max Wren.
And for those of you in Peoria, we are on TuckerYouTube.com.
Fancy now.
TuckerYouTube.com. You can see the podcast. So you can hear the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the rest, and iHeart. But if you go to TuckerYouTube.com, you can see the podcast. And I don't know if is that good or bad, Max.
I don't know. I think I have more of a face for TV than a
face for radio.
Exactly.
Well, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So Max, we have listener questions, and now we are in Chicago, Illinois, and we serve folks primarily all around Chicagoland, northeastern Illinois, southeastern Wisconsin. But we do have listeners and viewers and clients. We have clients all across the fruited plain, Florida, California, Texas, Michigan, Wisconsin. I'm forgetting some people. I do apologize. So, but we get a lot of our questions from the local area, but we are federally licensed, so we can help folks wherever with whatever. Now, we're not licensed as attorneys, and we are not enrolled agents or CPAs. But other than that, so we help folks with their investments, tax planning for retirement, also medical. Max and myself are licensed in Illinois for health insurance. So is Associate Advisor Matt Mirabella, who's not on the podcast today. We can help folks with their health insurance needs, Medicare needs, long-term care planning, legacy planning. We do work with a couple outside law firms in Illinois and elsewhere to help folks with their legacy planning, and also income planning for retirement, so that when your paycheck stops, you have a new check starting. So here we are, podcast number 72, Max. It's been quite a while. I've been podcasting. We have a new podcast every Monday morning at 0500 hours. And so this podcast 72 question comes from Debbie in Park Ridge. Now, Park Ridge, Illinois is a suburb right across the street. We're on Higgins Road in Chicago, and across the street is the suburb of Park Ridge. Now, Max, across the street is the old Big Ten building, not the new Big Ten building.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go Big Ten.
It's a bad way to give directions.
What is it, the Big 17 now?
Big 18.
23? Big 18.
Big 18.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Natalie and I went to the United Center, west side of Chicago on Madison, the Madhouse on Madison. Natalie and I went to the United Center a bit ago for the Big Ten men's basketball tournament, and it was Michigan State playing UCLA, and I got us some really nice seats right down low, and it was a waste of money.
What? Why? Why is it a waste of money?
Lost by like 10 or 12 points.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
UCLA and
on
the
a
Big
Friday
Ten,
night.
I'm still trying to get used to that.
It's the Big 18.
Big 18.
It's like from Rutgers to UCLA.
Hey, whole country.
Yeah.
Screw regional conferences, right?
Hey, watch your language, Max.
Hey, it's YouTube. We can say it.
So Debbie from Park Ridge, Illinois asks, Max, should I pay off my mortgage before I retire? ? So it says, so Debbie's asking if she should pay off her mortgage before she retires. So Debbie from Park Ridge, Illinois, Max, she's getting close to retirement. She's wondering whether she should use some of her savings. Oh boy.
Yeah, great question.
If she should use some of her savings to pay off the remaining balance of her mortgage. Savings, I always wonder what people say when they say savings.
Yep.
So let's take it as she wrote it. So Max, should Debbie use some of her savings to pay off her mortgage?
Well, I love my response here. It depends, folks. So if you're looking at this, oftentimes why we're having this kind of question asked is because a lot of people read this boilerplate stuff online. Pay off all your debt heading into retirement. Make sure you're debt free. So people are reading these articles and just kind of going in autopilot. Oh, this article said it, I should do it as well. Well, answer depends, guys. So, if you're at a mortgage rate that's at, if you got it during COVID, if you're at a mortgage of 3%, and right now your savings account's giving you 3.75, or your markets are yielding kind of more about like 5 to 10, why would you pay off the debt, right? So how do you feel, Scott?
Well, one thing that concerns me, Debbie in Park Ridge, Illinois, she said, should I pay off my mortgage before I retire? And then she referenced using her savings. Savings from the bank, I don't know. And then the interest rate does have something to do with it. I do like the idea, sort of a Dave Ramsey-ish type of thing, to not have a mortgage. But that's something probably we should have decided a long time before we got up. Sounds like, I'm kind of reading into this, Debbie from Park Ridge, sounds like she might be right about to retire. Because it sounds, she's saying, Max, should I pay off my mortgage before I retire? I get the vibe that it's like in the next year.
Yep.
Just from the people we help, and we kind of, people say things a certain way.
Right.
And it sounds weird to some people that I'd be reading through the tea leaves that thoroughly. But if she's going to use savings from the bank, I don't know how much. If we've got $100,000 left in our mortgage and we have $300,000 in a checking account, yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, if you got $300,000 in a checking account, we should have a different conversation. So,
well, we find that all the time, though, don't we?
all the time.
Crazy. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that have like $700,000 in checking and then have a $200,000 mortgage. It's just kind of weird.
And they're like, "What should I do?" I'm like, "Well, what do you think?"
a few things, probably beyond the conversation we're having right now.
Yeah.
Another concern I have, though, because Debbie doesn't quite say how her savings are structured. What if it's a traditional IRA or 401k, and let's say she has $100,000. Well, let's say, make it different. Let's say she owes, a not very fancy house around here is about in northwest corner of Chicagoland or Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Not very fancy house could be like $500,000.
Totally.
And we find people all the time that still owe like $250 on it.
Yep.
So say Debbie in Park Ridge owes $250. Let's just make her single. She didn't mention if she has a spouse in the house. Let's say Debbie is single and she has $250 owed on the mortgage, and then let's say that she's thinking about taking $250 out of traditional IRA or 401k, 403b, deferred comp, TSP.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Max, how might that impact her if she was to go take $250 out of, say, the 401k or the IRA?
Well, she's going to pay a lot of taxes, won't she, Scott? So.
Well, but Max, the state of Illinois doesn't tax retirement accounts.
Oh, yeah, totally. It doesn't. And President Trump said he got rid of taxes too, right?
No, not like that. So, but Max, you're
It's
alluding
crazy town.
You're alluding to the idea that if Debbie from Park Ridge, if she went and took $250 out of her IRA or 401k, she would have $250,000, actually more than that, in federal income tax. She might have $300,000 or taxable income, I should say. She might have to take out $300,000 out of IRA maybe, and to do the withholding. It could even be more than that, just to have the $250 to go put on the mortgage.
Yep, and then she's gonna be finding about her good friend Irma here soon too.
Oh yes,
on her age.
And Max, you have this memorized. IRMA stands for?
That's income related monthly adjustment amount. That's the additional premium you'll pay on your Medicare.
So the way, instead of memorizing IRMA, what I say, Max, Medicare high income penalties.
There you go.
And so the way it happens, Debbie, so say you do this now in 2026, 2 years from now in 2028, if you're Medicare eligible, you'll get a nastygram from CMS. And so it's a government acronym. CMS doesn't stand for CMS. It stands for Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services.
All right.
CMS.
Just flows off the tongue, doesn't it?
No, it should be some. So what I'm getting at, it should be CMMS.
CMFS?
No, CMMS.
Okay, I'll take your word
Centers
for it.
for Medicare and Medicaid Services. And I forget which came before the, cart before the horse. Is it Medicare or Medicaid? But anyway, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. But anyway, there's two M's. So I'm getting at there's two M's.
Okay.
And then their friends from the government, highly known for their ability to educate the public, made it CMS.
No, it's good that you're talking about this. And I'm glad you brought it up, because sometimes I see folks they take all the money out from their 401k, IRA, put it all in their checking account. They're doing things like what we're talking about. We may laugh and we may think it's silly, but this is stuff that Scott and I, we see this stuff every day, don't we?
Yeah, and we don't want people to stub their toe is really the thing.
Yep.
And these are normal questions, and it's really Debbie from Park Ridge bringing it up, Max.
Yeah.
So again, she's saying, Max, should I pay off my mortgage before I retire? So what might be a better thing to do? Max, what do we see happening a lot right now? Let's say the markets are all-time highs are part of it. Now I'm asking you to mind read a little bit of what I'm thinking. What do we see people doing quite a bit right now? Let's say they are in their early 60s. What are they calling us at saying they want to do? There's a few things.
One of them right now we're seeing is they want more risk in their portfolios.
Well,
so that's one of them.
I want to steer this a little bit.
Okay.
Something we're getting a lot of right now is people are saying they want to retire early.
Okay.
Right? So part of why Debbie didn't give us her age or tell us anything about her employment, but part of why people are giving us this question more is we're getting a lot of people in their early 60s, like 62-ish, and they're saying, I want to retire early, turn on Social Security early. The market's always going to make 20% a year, right, Max?
Yep.
And then I want to, should I pay off my mortgage? We're getting a lot of these rush the bum kind of things.
They're also trying to say that they're going to die when they say they're going to die, and running out of money is not a problem because they're going to die when they're going to die.
Yeah, we have people who insist they're going to die at exactly on their 81st birthday. Like they're going to be blowing out the candles.
They're like, oh, I'm not going to live that long. Nope, not me, guys.
I've already got it on my calendar. My 85th birthday, I'm going to be blowing out the candles at my surprise party, and I'm going to keel over.
Yeah, it's crazy, guys. I've had folks retire when they're not able to retire. I'm saying, okay, well, what happens if we reach this point? And they're like, Max, I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. I'm like, whoa,
Let's do that.
All
Let's
right.
not do that, folks.
I'm like, okay.
If you do that, you're going to miss future episodes of the podcast. I mean, that's not going to be any good.
Think about the podcast.
That's going to be
guys.
bad for ratings. They're going to have to set up a robot to click on the podcast before they go.
Oh, we'll be there totally.
Who's going to pay their electric bill?
Yeah, the robot will.
You're gonna have a whole bunch of iPads plugged in your basement on the Wi-Fi.
You know, we're not too far away from that. So, yeah.
So Debbie, when we get people asking us if they should pay off the house before they retire, what's happening? This is what I'm thinking, Max. When people are saying, "Should I pay off the house before I retire?" What's changing lately are people are seeing that the stock market at all-time highs, and they think that money's already in their pocket.
Yeah.
And that's because the stock market's at all-time highs does not mean the money's in your pocket. And so I think people are getting really cocky right now, not only about the future of the stock market. We just had a gentleman, was it this morning? He emailed us. He's a client in another state, we'll say. Keep it vague. And isn't he like 78 or 79?
78.
78. And he decided that he's looking to go to another firm because this other firm has been telling him how great their returns have been.
Have been.
I
think everyone's been having a good return this past year or two, folks.
So he's like, he was 78, right?
Yeah, 78.
Yeah. So he's like 78, and we've purposely set him up with a lot of hedging strategies so he doesn't get his butt kicked if the market goes down.
Yeah.
And past performance, no indication of future returns, but he's been getting, just on his at-risk money, he's been netting after advisory fees about 8%.
An average annualized rate return of 8 to 9%. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just even say 8, because right now Riskalyze is projecting the future return after advisory fee and all that at about 8%. So I can't guarantee that, and I'm not using that as like that's what Riskalyze is saying he should be getting in the future is 8%.
Yeah.
So if you were to get a steady 8% per year using the rule of 72, your money would double in 9 years. Again, hypothetical. Don't take it to the bank because you don't have it yet. So there's a portion of his money that we have hedging strategies where if the market goes down, he loses no money. There's another portion of this money that we have in a low volatility portfolio that's projected to return about 8% per year after advisory fee and all that. That's projected to potentially double his money every 9 years. There's another portion of his money that's set up in income tax free accounts that are a whole long-winded story, Section 7702 maneuver. And this whole thing has been structured for him for he's been a client about 6 years, I think, and something like that. And he was referred to us by his girlfriend. His girlfriend's a client also. And but then this other firm is blowing up his phone talking about our past returns. And then they always say, Max, past returns are not indicative of future returns.
Yep.
So now he's watching, he's sitting home probably watching Jim Cramer or something. And that's the problem with being retired. You might watch too much Jim Cramer.
Yeah, if you're watching Jim Cramer, folks, come on.
Any Jim Cramer might be too much Jim Cramer. So there's a reason why Jim Cramer gave up all his securities licenses is so that he could be a TV entertainer and he could say anything on TV and not have the SEC come after him.
You hit the keyword there, entertainer, guys. Mm-hmm. If you're watching Fox, if you're watching CNN, if OAN, CNBC, it's all entertainment. Entertainment.
And I don't like Jim Cramer, but I do like, and this is controversial, a lot of financial planners don't like Dave Ramsey. There's a lot of things that Dave Ramsey says that I do agree with. Is get out of debt stuff, avoid debt, all that kind of stuff is really good. All that advice is really good. Dave Ramsey has purposely given up his securities licenses, his insurance licenses, and all that so that he can say whatever he wants about investments and insurance because there will never be a regulator come after him or even get a lawsuit based upon his investing or insurance advice.
Yeah.
The only license that Dave Ramsey still has is as a real estate broker because he buys and sells real estate and for himself. And as he does that, he doesn't want to pay realtor commissions, or at least 1/2 of the realtor commission. He could pay, or not be charged a realtor commission, at least on the buy side or on the sell side, whichever side he's on. So, but Dave Ramsey, for liability reasons, gave up his securities licenses and his insurance licenses. And Jim Kramer, I don't believe has ever been insurance licensed, but he definitely gave up his securities licenses. And then he can say whatever he wants on TV, and then Dave can do the same on the radio show and the podcast and that.
Yeah, and that's more the reason why you need to be so careful about the information you see and read about and hear about. You know, these people don't have any skin in the game. You can't take boilerplate advice as well. I mean, we see this all the time. Someone reading an article, trying to do it for their situation. So just be careful what you read. It's not a one size fits all for when it comes to this stuff. So.
Max, what do they say about unlicensed advice?
Unlicensed, I don't know, what is it? Unlicensed advice is...
Unlicensed.
Unlicensed? Yeah. I was going to guess that. I was like, that's too obvious, so.
It would be like if, I don't know, is Dr. Oz still a doctor, or did he give up his medical license?
I think he had to get, I don't know. That's a good question.
I was going to say, what if Dr. Oz had a reality show and he was going to give medical advice on the reality show, but then he wanted to make sure that whoever didn't come after him, what he would do is he'd give up his medical license, and they'd have a disclaimer like Dr. Oz is not a real doctor, or not a licensed doctor. I have a friend when his dad retired. His dad was an MD, and when his dad the day his dad retired, and then would give his son, my friend, a medical advice. His son, my friend, would say, shut up, Dad. You're not even a doctor. Because he was no longer a licensed physician.
Good way to get out of the trust fund right there.
That's a good way to get out of the trust fund. Yeah, so he's like, shut up, Dad. You're not. He was saying it, with respect, but he was like, Dad, whatever. You're not even a doctor.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Gotta give crap to the doctors. They deserve it.
If you're a doctor, get on the phone calendar at tuckerretirement.com. In fact, anybody who has a retirement planning question, no matter what state you live in or U.S. territory, go to tuckerretirement.com. At tuckerretirement.com, you can see our phone calendar, click and pick a time that works for you, and we'll spend 15 minutes together in the coming week over the telephone. Max, we'll get their questions answered, Ann.
Answers questioned.
And their answers questioned.
Yep,
You're missing
that's
a
my
word.
favorite part.
Missing a little word, though, in there. It's got to flow.
They understand.
You got to get it to flow.
Yep.
So we're seeing a lot of folks that are trying to retire, quote unquote, too early. And then that's a lot of time why they're asking about the mortgage, because they plan to have the mortgage paid off by 65 or 67 or 70. And now they're asking us, we've had folks, we just recently, and these folks can actually pull it off. There are a couple that are 52 and they want to retire at 55 using the rule of 55. And now they've saved almost $3 million for retirement. Now, a lot of that, we're helping them hedge some of their bets because they've got to go another 3 years. And if this market tanks on them, they can't retire anymore. So we've helped them. We did some investment analysis and helped them with that.
Yep.
To put in some hedging strategies.
Lower the risk.
Yeah. So at 52, they have 2.9 saved for retirement, and their plan is to work 3 more years. They make real good money. They save really well. They're very cautious. They know to kind of now that they want to hedge the bets. So if they retire at 55, our projections show they actually make it. Now, those are just projections. But so what we're seeing, a lot of times people are around retiring now at 55, the people that used to work to 65 or 70. And so they're asking questions about the home mortgage. Some people still have a mortgage in their 60s.
Yep. And
so we're getting a lot more of that. We, of course, are always getting questions about, can I take my Social Security at 62? Not usually a good idea for you unless you have a terminal illness, and it also may not be a good idea for you if you have a surviving spouse or a spouse that will be surviving, because you might cap, if you have the bigger check on your Social Security earnings, you could cap the benefits that are left to your surviving spouse. The other one we're getting a bunch, I think that's kind of it, isn't it? Retire too early, take Social Security too early.
Yeah, chasing heat, chasing returns.
Chasing the returns, because Max, I always say, people love to buy high and sell low.
They do.
Right?
Yep. Anytime. Hey, by the way, folks, anytime we start getting a lot of calls about people wanting more risk or anything like that, that's when I kind of lower my risk in my portfolios. You guys are usually a pretty good gauge of when the market's at the top.
We haven't pointed that out that way in a long time. We have a radio show on Sunday mornings on AM 560 WIND in Chicago. And we probably got to talk about that more on our show as well, Max, because that's got to be like an indicator that we should trademark that or something, or figure out a way to measure that. Every time it gets to where people are calling us saying they want more risk, is exactly what Max is saying.
Yeah.
Is that the markets are at all-time highs.
Yeah. Hey, guys, if your mailman is giving you stock tips, if your Uber DoorDash guys are giving you stock tips, if you're going to a fast food restaurant and the people there are giving you stock tips, usually that's not a great sign.
So that does happen. You get people telling you at the gym that they're into NVIDIA.
Yeah, I had a 80-year-old woman come and sit with me a couple of weeks ago, and she said, "Max, have you heard about this NVIDIA stock? I think we should put all my money in it." I'm like, "Okay, all right, that thing's tapped out now."
Have you heard about it?
Have I heard? Yeah,
about a year and a half ago, or when did that first getting? I mean, a couple years ago.
Well, I've been in the NVIDIA thing since like 2016. So
no, but when did it get a bunch of buzz? Like 2 years?
I started getting a lot of buzz in 2023.
Is that you think that was when most people, about 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago, that long
that's
ago?
when the kind of average Joe, I think.
I can't remember.
You started seeing it on like Mad Money, CNBC. That's when
But then I think about
picked up on.
But then I think back.
Then
I think about the average Joe. I'm thinking maybe 60 Minutes, maybe 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like things kind of percolate, and then they move over to like 60 Minutes, and then and then it takes a little bit yet. But by the time it's been on TV.
Yeah, it's funny because when I would sit down with folks, maybe like back in 2018, 19, 20, 21, even 22, I'd bring up NVIDIA, semiconductors, chips, and everyone would give me this blank stare. And they're like, "What? NVIDIA? I've never heard of that." And now you bring it up, and everyone's like, "Oh, NVIDIA, yeah, I know about that." Yep. So tells you everything you need to know.
People do love to buy high and sell low. And not a recommendation to buy or sell any security.
Nope.
But yeah, whenever we get to where everybody wants more risk, we're concerned about a market bubble. We can't call the market, can't market time this, but we get concerned. Whenever everybody's talking about the same stock, if you think back to go way back to like 2000, 2002, everybody was talking about like pets.com and Enron and all this stuff. Yeah. and some of those things work out and some of them don't. There's a whole big data center craze all around Chicagoland right now because we have, we're in the Rust Belt, so we have a whole bunch of nuclear power plants, a whole lot of electrical power. We have access to water. We're right off Lake Michigan. And so they're trying to build data centers all over the place here. And somebody said something recently, and they said, this whole data center thing, they might really be onto something. All these private equity companies trying to build like a data center across the street from a data center next to a data center. And somebody said something, there was a whole big craze in the internet boom in the late 90s, early 2000s, but there only ended up being one Amazon.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So a data center is a little bit different because it's a tangible thing.
Right.
But how many of these companies don't make it? So
that's maybe not even the trillion. What's more than a trillion? What's the next one after billion?
Quadrillion?
Quadrillion? Yeah, that's the quadrillion question right there, Scott. So
you can just make it the $64,000 question like it's always been.
64? I've never heard that
That's
one.
from an old game show.
Okay, I'm too young for that.
You got to go watch your MeTV.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit.
MeTV.
I'm a little bit
know about it, check it out. It's pretty good.
I'm 53. I'm a little too young for it, but I know it's from a game show. The $64,000 question. It was I got to figure out what game show that was.
Nice. I was looking at MeTV the other day. They had the Andy Griffith show on. All kinds of good stuff.
What I did, folks, is I went on Amazon and I got Max. Speaking of Amazon, I got Max an over-the-air antenna. And I said, you got to check this out. You can get like 50 channels digital for free.
You need to get one. It's $20. You get all the channels, sports channels. It's great. So we're doing good.
So I don't know if you don't get all like the paid ones. You don't get like ESPN, but you get a lot. You get a lot of channels.
You get like all the news channels and the sports on those. So, which is a lot of them.
I would say you get all the local channels. You don't get all the cable channels.
Local.
Trying to get me in trouble with the listening public and listening private. So if you want to get on our phone calendar, 15 minutes for free in the coming week with one of our financial planners, we'll talk to you right over the telephone, get your questions answered and your answers questioned.
Yep.
And it might be me, Max, Saida, or Matt. It'll be one of us.
Yeah.
So go to tuckerretirement.com.
Just come in an open mind when we do talk with you folks, because a lot of times we see people dig their feet in with what they're doing.
I already have all the answers, Max.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how smart I am.
Yep.
So that's what we have for you for this week. And go ahead, like and subscribe, share this to Facebook or wherever else. And then we'll see you next Monday morning at 0500 hours. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. Talk to you in the next podcast.